Hey everybody, it's Music Man 82 here, and I'm with Mike today. We are going to be tasting a ton of beer today. We're having a fun day where we're going to set up our new tents that we both got for Christmas, and just talk about a lot of beer. And then I also thought we might talk a little bit about our upcoming trip and the wins that we have this summer. We'll kind of go over the game plan for it. So, tell us about this beer, Mike. What is it?
This is Enjoy by January 1st, 2021 from Stone. It is festively fresh. Fresh with a PH, apparently.
Yeah, when was the first? So this is a series they've done over years and years now. I think the first Enjoy by I had was probably 4 years ago. You might have had one before that.
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. And whenever I see it, I get it. Sometimes if you find an Enjoy by and it's 2 months after the date, you want to avoid it because IPAs deteriorate in the bottle or the can. This one is probably the best Enjoy by I've had ever. I would say.
I agree with that.
It comes in, 9.4% alcohol?
I had it for the first time 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was slightly better, slightly fresher then. But still a great beer. Their best Enjoy by that I've had too.
Yes, it's very, very tasty, very hoppy, super West Coast in terms of IPAs. So we'll be back with another beer here shortly. We got to chug this one.
It's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome back. We finished our Enjoy by and we turned to something a little bit lighter that Mike brought today. What is this one?
This is Lake Street Express from 18th Street Brewing in Hammond, Indiana, a suburb of Chicago.
Comes in at 4.7% alcohol. It's a very small beer, but very floral. I was telling Mike when I first tasted it, this is probably the closest beer I've ever had to something that tastes like my home brews in terms of the aroma, and definitely drinkable. I find there's a little bit of haze on it, and there's some good sediment in it too, which I like in my beers. I know some people don't, but I'm a sediment fan. So
I like the haze on it. The aroma's good. The mouthfeel leaves a little bit to be desired. I'm not usually a big fan of session IPAs. This one's a pretty decent one though.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty good. It's something if you didn't want to get too inebriated too fast, it would be a good one to have on hand. So
yeah, well,
that's that one.
We're gonna need that for today. Cheers.
Yes. Hey, we're back for beer number 3 today. Before we get into it, I wanted to show off my awesome shirt. Thank you to my parents for getting this for me for Christmas. My mom did some work on the logo after my wife did the design, and she was a huge help getting that all, and then they put it on a shirt for me. So thank you, Mom and Dad. Mike's going to tell us about this one.
We're drinking Boiler Black from Kps Brewing in Lafayette, Indiana.
Lafayette, Indiana, yep.
It is brewed for Purdue University with ingredients that were researched apparently by researchers at Purdue and grown locally around the area. It's called a black ale, but I think it's more of a porter.
Yeah, it's thin to me for a porter, but it definitely has a nose of a porter, so it's not, I don't know, it's just not as thick maybe.
About 5%.
Yeah, it's definitely an easy drinking black if you like dark beers. I don't know, it's not the best beer I've ever had.
It tastes almost identical to the first beer I ever brewed, which was supposed to be a stout and ended up not being
turn out
quite a stout.
Yeah. How many batches have you brewed in your lifetime?
Oh, probably only about 5 or 10.
Okay. Have you always gone dark, or have you tried a bunch of styles?
I've only done dark beer once, that first time, and I didn't like it very much. So
yeah,
every other time has been light beer.
Yeah, I've only probably brewed dark beers a couple times, but IPAs are, as you know, if you've watched any of this channel so far, you know that IPAs are where it's at in both of our minds. So, in our next video, we will be back with probably another IPA because we need more of that. So, cheers. All right, we're back with beer number 4. This one is a much better beer than the last one. This is kind of an interesting beer because when I first saw this beer up in Billings, it was on tap at City Vineyard. And generally when I see a new beer, I check the Untapped app to see if Mike has checked it in, because we almost always rate things the same. We have very similar tastes.
Have you ever been a disparity of more than half a point?
Yeah, I don't even think it's, we're rarely a half a point. If we do a quarter point, that's even rare. A lot of times we rate them exactly the same. So I saw this one on tap and he had checked it in at a 3.5 and I was like, it's kind of low. And then I was like, yeah, screw it, I'll taste it anyway. And I was like, this beer is amazing. And as you'll see in the picture that I will show you here in a second, the beer he had on tap there is different than this beer that we have in our glasses. So this one is very hazy, that one wasn't. So we both agree that this one, this can we just got here was bottled just a month ago, so it's very, very fresh. 6.2% alcohol, and Mike will tell us a little bit about the brewery.
Yeah, Bozeman Brewery in Bozeman, Montana. This beer was clear the first time that I had it, and it was called Haze Hugger. So I think that the first comment that I made on it was that it's not a hazy IPA in any respect.
It is a hazy now, though.
It's completely different now compared to 2018. Bozeman Brewing is a great little place, and it's right across the street from Mountains Walking.
I've been drinking their Bozeman IPA for many years when I can get it. It's a really solid IPA that's just easy drinking. And
they have a line of sours that they do too that are phenomenal. I know you're not a big sour fan.
Yeah, I
like
think we
sour
tried one
beers.
on your birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
it wasn't bad. So, and then I also they had a was it a black IPA they brewed? I remember having a dark beer from them not too long ago. They had a coconut something at one point that was really good. Enjoyed that a lot. But anyway, this might be my favorite beer I've ever had from Bozeman Brewing. So that's that. We are going to get ready to go set up some tents outside before it gets too cold. So cheers. Hey everybody, we're back for another beer, and we're joined by a special guest. This is my daughter Aria. She is not going to be drinking the beer with us, but she's going to be cheering us on in our beer tastings. So, tell us about this one, Mike.
We're drinking Radiant Lux from By All Means Brewery in Billings, Montana. BAM, as we like to call it. This is a barrel-aged and fettered beer in a version of their Kavik wheat beer that is very good.
Yes, the ABV is, what did you say?
11.5.
11.5%, so it's a huge beer. They put it in peach brandy, orange liqueur, and cognac barrels. So it has a lot of that kind of sweet liqueur taste to it. It's unlike anything I think I've ever had before. Is there anything
It's unique. I can't think of
very
anything
unique
that I've had that comes close to this. I've had their Kavik wheat beer, and it does not taste at all like that.
Yeah, so this is quite a beer. Definitely a good one. We are about ready to go out in the backyard in the cold weather and set up our Christmas presents. In a previous video, I set up my River Country one-man tent here in the garage, but I want to see what it looks like with the tent stakes. So we're going to stake it up, and Mike also got a tent for Christmas, so he'll tell us what he got.
Yep, I got a Tiger Wall Ultralight 2-person tent, and
Big Agnes, right?
Big Agnes, yep. We're going to see how that works. Some of the reviews say that the floor is a little bit susceptible to tearing, so we'll check that out and see how sturdy it looks and set it up for the first time.
Yeah, so we'll get that set up here before the sun sets and gets too cold, and then we'll be back for another beer and talk about our tent experience. So,
cheers. Cheers, Aria.
Cheers. What do you think of that? It's exciting, huh? First thing I'm noticing is it's got a pretty decent vestibule here.
Yes, it does.
It's really nice.
That's what I'd read in most of the reviews, is that everybody likes the vestibule size.
I think we had a stake come out back there
We
somewhere.
did. Yeah. But
That's
otherwise,
still-
that's great. I could see how the floor is prone to ripping, though. I'll definitely get a footprint.
Yeah, I think a footprint's going to be needed for sure.
There's a ton of space in here, though.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
you both will fit in here really well.
Yep. Oh man, that's great.
The vestibule, honestly, is such a great component of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of pockets
Pockets.
there and
There's
there.
a pocket up here too, for phone
That's
and
great.
headphones and that sort of thing.
And so can the other person get out the other side as
Yep.
well?
So that's
It looks like there's a...
there's a second vestibule. Yeah, there's a second door too.
Okay.
Yep, 2 entries. Both the same
Oh,
size.
that'll be so nice.
That's awesome.
So this other side...
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so here's the entry to the other side. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So many of these two-man tents, you have to crawl over somebody to get out.
Yeah, we definitely noticed that. This summer.
Mike and Kristen both used my Kelty Salida last summer. So now that this one's staked out, you can see kind of how the main body of the tent sits there. The hiking pole is much more vertical than I had it in the garage, just because I'm able to get the bottom section hot. Got a really nice thick bottom here, and allows me to sit up all the way. That is a ton of room too for a single person. Got enough ventilation too in the back. Condensation shouldn't be a problem.
Is it weatherproofed?
It's going to need some weatherproofing for sure. Most reviews have said that it will leak a little water, and you want to have some extra waterproofing on the seams and stuff. But overall, pretty sweet.
Very tense.
Yes, we now both have light tents, which is going to be really nice for our 12-day winds trip. Hey guys, welcome back. We just finished setting up and tearing down our tents, and it's a good thing we did it then because it was getting quite cold out there.
It's chilly
And
now.
I think we're both pretty satisfied with our tents. I've got some waterproofing for sure to do on mine, and Mike's gonna get a floor for his.
But otherwise, I'm so excited for summer. I can't wait to use it.
It's sad that it's not even 2021 yet. I'm ready to leave like in 2 days, I think.
Take a trip down to the tropics or something and go backpacking
Just
there.
backpack somewhere. So, all right. So this beer that we have today is the 004 Imperial Hazy DDH from By All Means up in Billings, Montana, and it is an amazing beer.
I think you said a couple videos ago that your favorite beer from Montana is Tin Sky. I think this is my favorite beer from Montana. I love this beer.
Yeah, this definitely is up there for me. I think I gave it like a 4.5 on Untapped, and you did a 4.75. Like it's in the stratosphere in terms of brews. So Mosaic, Lotus, and Equinox cryo hops, and they said the can says 8 pounds per barrel, which is a lot of hops, which is the reason why it's not a cheap beer for sure.
It is worth the money.
It is well worth the money. It is just thick and juicy and hazy and everything a beer should be, in my opinion. So probably it ranks up with the Bambreezy as the best beer that By All Means brews, I think. Mike says it's their best beer, so I definitely enjoy it. So in our next video, we'll talk about our upcoming trip this summer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, welcome back. This is our 7th beer of the evening.
It's been a long day.
Yes, we ate some awesome pizza after we put up and tore down the tents. We're super happy with them. It's going to be a good summer. This is the By All Means Imperial Oatmeal Brown, and it's a barrel-aged beer, 13.2% alcohol. It's very large, especially after all we've had today.
Well, the sun is set and it's getting cold.
It's getting cold.
It's a good way to warm up.
The breath is definitely, you can see it. So
actually, alcohol constricts the blood vessels and makes you feel colder.
That's true.
Just numb to it.
Thank goodness there's an inside. So, what do you think of this beer, Mike?
Oh, this is delicious. I could drink the entire bottle and I would be trashed.
You'd be sad, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of dark fruit notes, fig,
Lots of raisin.
Yeah, it's to me it doesn't quite hit as hard on the alcohol.
No, it does not drink like it's
13%
plus percent.
Yeah, I think about drinking a Bourbon County, and which is
14%.
Yeah, which is a little bit more, and it's a lot more alcohol burn in this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a super smooth beer. Definitely not cheap. By all means, cellar beers are always pricey, but they're worth their purchase price for sure. So,
Absolutely.
yep.
Just share it with somebody.
Definitely share it with somebody. So, all right, we'll be back with one more to wrap up the night. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back for the 8th and final beer of the evening. This is the Founders Kps Mackinac Fudge, which is honestly one of the best dark beers I think I've ever had. Mike's going to tell us a little bit more about the beer.
That's probably a highlight of the evening.
Yeah.
What is this? An 11%, and Mackinac Fudge coffee is added to the beer. It is unbelievable. It's KBS on steroids. It's so much smoother than the base KBS.
Yeah, when Mike was in Billings a few weeks ago, he brought back a couple and was kind enough to share with me. And this beer is absolutely amazing. So in a previous video, I reviewed the Founders CBS, and I think this beats it.
I agree.
In my opinion.
I like the CBS as sort of like that breakfast stout, but this one I think knocks the CBS out.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you ever get a chance to try this beer, don't pass it up. It's awesome. So before we end the night, Mike and I are going to talk just a little bit about our upcoming summer trip, which we're going to use our new fancy tents on. So our plan is to do a 100-mile north to south traverse the Wind River Range. We're going to start at Trail Lakes Trailhead near Dubois, Wyoming, and end kind of at Little Cindy Trailhead near South Pass, and it's going to be pretty exciting. What are your...
I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to do a couple of gear up trips early in the summer. Lonesome Peak in the Beartooth Range.
Which I have a video for if you haven't seen it already.
Check that out for sure. And maybe a couple more in the Bighorn Mountains in Wyoming just to get prepared. This trip's going to be about 2 weeks long. So this is definitely going to be the longest trip that I've ever been on.
Yeah, my record is 6 days. So I think probably our biggest thing is going to be the logistical issues of getting 12 days worth of food into 2 bear canisters. It's going to be very interesting.
Probably gonna have to hang or get some Ursacks or something.
Yeah, I know probably at least the first 2 nights we'll have places to hang. By the 3rd night, we'll be approaching the Dinwiddie Basin area. It'll be a little bit harder to hang, but we may be able to make it work. So kind of the rough trail plan is to drive down to South Pass and leave my car at the trailhead down at Little Sandy, and then we'll drive back up to Du Bois, and then the first day in the afternoon we'll hike part of the way up the glacier trail and spend the night near the good water source at the top of the switchbacks, and then day 2 we'll go up over Arrow Pass and Burrow Flat, and then we'll descend down probably post Star Lake, maybe a little bit farther, and then 3rd day we'll go near Dinwiddie and then up over Bonnie Pass on day 4, and then day 5 will be a short day. We'll enjoy Tacoma Basin up into Indian Basin, which Mike has yet to see. It's a beautiful place. And then the next day will probably be the trickiest day of the whole trip. We're going to go up over Indian Pass and then up over Alpine Pass and drop down by Alpine Lakes and hopefully camp by Camp Lake that night. And then over the next few days, we'll work our way south on the Fremont Trail towards Texas, and then Jackass Pass near the Circuit of the Towers area, and then we'll head south over Temple Pass and then out. And I am honestly probably more stoked for this trip than any I've ever been on.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm already preparing, and
Yeah,
I just think about it all the time. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to go on this trip.
it's funny. I'm in the grocery store. I'm like, I wonder if this would be a good backpacking food. So I'll try out a new flavoring packet for the couscous.
We should do a video on foods.
On the food, yeah. It would be good, I think, at some
Because
point.
we've had some that are terrible and others that are phenomenal.
Yeah,
We had a terrible one on the last trip up to Circuit of the Towers this fall.
So I generally, let's see, for the first few trips this summer, I had gotten some. What were those noodle dinners that I got? They were like,
Just little packets.
yeah,
from
like kind of
Walmart.
Asian noodle dinners, and they were amazing. And we had those on our first 2 trips, and then I went back to Walmart, and there were no more of those to be found, and I was pretty bummed. So I tried to piece something together at the local grocery stores, and I'll say our one night out on the Green River. No, it was
It was Cirque.
when we went to the Circuit of the Towers, the Big Sandy Trailhead, which I will be posting soon. It was one of the worst backpacking meals I've ever tasted.
We forced it down.
Too many noodles, not enough seasoning. It was just like, thank goodness we had beer that night.
And it was only one night.
It was only one night. We had 2 beers for one night, but the food was bad. So the goal on our 12-day trip is to only have good food, because that's a lot of nights to be out. So we'll be talking a lot more about that as the spring goes through, and then once we get to the summer, we'll keep you posted as to that. So that brings an end to our tent pitching / 8 beer tasting day.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day, but a very tasty day, and appreciate you staying with us. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and we'll hopefully see you around for some more videos.
Cheers.
Cheers.